All right. My next thought on this is another conference. And my initial thought on this conference was like, oh man, they're getting no respect. But then I just kept looking at it, and there's a sneaky path for the Pac-12. I haven't seen this conference in the playoff very often. Oregon and Washington, the only times. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, Oregon at number 8, they respect them. USC at number 9, they really respect them. And I would have UCLA higher, but I get it. Like at 12, that's not bad right there. The only one that I thought that they kind of like disrespected, if you will, is Utah, in particular with the LSU ranking. But I just explained that to you how something like that would happen. To me, it's going to take some help, but there is a pretty clear path right now for the Pac-12. They have to avoid what inevitably happens in that conference, which is that they beat each other up. But right now, Oregon is sitting there, and if they were to win out, you can see a scenario where they would go to the college football playoff. Now, in that scenario, they better hope that Georgia also wins out. But then USC is sitting there. If they win out, they might have a really strong argument to go to the college football playoff, in particular if TCU were to lose, if Alabama were to lose another game. And then again, Ohio State and Michigan going to play each other. So there you are with like that Pac-12, 8, 9, Oregon, and USC. I kind of like it. I kind of like their path. I'm not saying that it's easy, and I'm not saying that they control their own destiny. But what I am trying to tell you is that there is a scenario. There is a good scenario for the Pac-12 to go to this playoff. Now, the one thing that I think is interesting in this is the following scenario. And you're going to love it, I think. And you probably may say to yourself, like, this is super obvious. But here you go. Let's just say that Georgia beats Tennessee. And then Georgia loses to Alabama. So in that case, like SEC champ in, Alabama, you're in. Let's say the Big Ten is an undefeated champ. Let's just say, for sake of argument, well, I'm not even going to do that. Michigan or Ohio State. Other would be kind of, by the wayside, if you will. So now there's 2 spots. Let's even give Clemson, like, go ahead. They're undefeated. That's the 3rd spot. Okay. And now let's say TCU loses, and it's Oregon, a 1-loss Georgia, a 1-loss Tennessee, and a 1-loss Big Ten team up for that last spot. So basically you're getting to Georgia, Oregon up for that last spot. And we're just going to go back to week 1. And we're going to say, well, sorry, Oregon, you got thumped by Georgia. There is a really clear path to the last 2 teams being up for the 4th spot in the playoff are Georgia and Oregon. And you know what? I think that would be almost funny, almost comical in some regard.